What's up? And I just wanted to make this statement known to the sitting president of the United States of America. So I want all you guys to listen. This is not going to be a video that I'm going to spend a lot of time on. Now, the president of the United States suggested a couple of days ago that teachers should be armed as the solution and a deterrence for kids coming in shooting up schools. This is by far one of the worst ideas ever to come out of the mouth of a president of the United States of America as dealing with a situation. Because you think before the president speaks, there are about 6 to 7 people in a round table that the speech should go through before he's able to even speak his words. I don't even know if he can read, because I'm quite sure that was not what was prepared for him to say. And he went out and just did his own freestyle and said that teachers are not soldiers. They're educators and protectors. They're not soldiers. They're not Marines. You do not put Army, military, they're nothing of the sort. They're not private contractors or whatever. Do you realize the problem with doing this? Immediately, if this idea was even bounced around, the first thing you need to figure out is, and the thing should cross your mind, that bringing guns into school in situations where you've seen kids fight teachers, teachers have relations with students, some teachers are not temporally balanced to deal with these situations. We don't need a teacher shooting a student. One, if something gets out of hand, they're not soldiers, they're not trained to be in that profession. You don't become a teacher by going to the gun range. You don't even know how most of these teachers feel about actually owning a gun. Now you're requiring them to be armed. You see, you create a worser situation coming up with idiotic solutions when there's one main solution: banning automatic rifles for average civilians. If you're not military, you don't need military type weapons. Should a private citizen be able to own a military tank? Why not? They got AR-15s and 223 rifles. What are they hunting? Elephants and rhinos? Or I don't remember seeing a rhino down 39th Street. What do you need? You got that much killing to do? You could hire security. So on that note, I would like to address the Republicans. Well, no matter what TMZ was saying, of course he was deflecting. It was quite obvious when somebody says something like that, you're deflecting. Everything he's doing is deflecting. He's never talking about the actual issue at hand. But the comment was towards the issue. As a solution to the problem, because he wants to keep the NRA happy. But what's going to happen is people are going to start to drop the NRA. I've dropped the NRA. They did nothing for me. In my time of need, they didn't do anything for me at all. So why am I paying you? So I've been dropped the NRA. Then you're going to start seeing change. Now they saying, oh, well, we're going to stop all the bump stops made on automatic rifles. No. because there's so much money being made in selling automatic rifles to average civilians. That's why they don't want to stop it. That's why it's up to y'all to take the video, share it with people so they will be informed, they can have information. Take this video and share it. This video wasn't made to make any money off of. Exactly. Unfortunately, that has always been the case. And people have always fall victim to these crimes or these things to try to pass law. It's always some horrific act that happens. Then people say, oh, well, we got to pass a law over here. Oh, we got to pass a law over there. They've gone crazy so that they can gain control. Because that's what it's mostly all about, is gaining control. Well, that's what you do in those situations. But no private citizens deserve to have automatic rifles. That's the end of all the problems. When you end the situations of automatic assault rifles and someone has to use a regular handgun to go into school, they're not going to feel as safe bringing a regular handgun in there to try to do a job like what they're trying to have done with an automatic rifle. They're not going to like their odds. Now, if you want to have metal detectors and armed security, or somebody at the school with armed security, then okay. But what about the 4 detectives or deputies that were there who heard the gunshots but ducked down and didn't want to go into the school? They've only fired 1 or forced him into retirement. But there were 4, Parkland, Florida. They probably would have saved some lives had they risked theirs. Well, they're kids, and when you first hear gunshots, your first thought is run away. Depends on the situation of how close you are to getting away. Sometimes the safest place to actually be is to get as close to the shooter as possible. If you ask me what I would do in that situation, God forbid I'm ever in that situation, I'm running towards the shooter. If I'm in a range where I know running is not going to get me out of that situation, I'd rather die going towards the guy with the gun than to die running away from the guy with the gun. That's just me. If I'm ever in that situation, it's a split of the moment situation. But if I'm not close to a situation where I think I could survive by leaving the situation, then my best chance of survival is to is to get close to him as possible. That sounds dumb. Yeah, that sounds dumb to you, sir. And you know why that sounds dumb to you? Because you didn't listen. I said if there's a chance of me getting away by running away from this guy, then I will do so. But if I'm in the line of fire and there's no, if I run back, that's just easier for him to get me than me trying to get towards him. I might get hit. I might save a lot of people's lives because he'll be trying to back up and do things that he got to do. He'll be in a panic. His gun could jam. He's not prepared for people to run towards him. He's preparing for people running away, which makes it a lot easier for him. I'm not a hero. I'm just somebody who will protect somebody and protect myself in that situation. And that gives me the better chance of getting out of there and doing what I gotta do, then I have to do what I gotta do. But survival is instincts alone, you know, and I don't fault any of the kids for running to get away because that's your natural instinct. If you have a better chance of running away, then that's what you do. But I know if I run away, I'm just going to get hit and there's nothing I could do about it. That's something I could determine in a second. I got to try to throw something at him, grab something, toss it at him while I'm running towards him. Anything, a desk, anything. Throw anything to throw him off while I get closer to him. Anything I can. I got to do something to get closer to him, to stop him from shooting or grab him or do something. I got to do one or the other because I know my running away, I'm just right in the line of fire. I can't outrun a bullet. I know that. And I'm not encouraging anybody to run towards a shooter. I'm saying what I would do in a situation if I had no choice. Now, if it's better for me to get away or is it better for me to stick around, this is the decision that I would have to make in a split of seconds. Ban all AR assault rifles, period. No assault rifles should be there. Oh, no problem. I've never seen $1.99 donated before. I don't even think they know how to even put up $1.99 because it didn't even pop up on the screen. JRT, assault rifles is a problem. Yeah, it didn't even show up on my screen, so I don't even know how that even worked out. No, JRT, you're making a huge mistake here. Banning assault rifles is not an attack on guns. Banning an assault rifle, what do you need with an assault rifle, JRT? What are you hunting that you need to shoot 50, 60 rounds per second? What, you think this The Walking Dead? You preparing for a zombie apocalypse? A handgun is for personal protection. Do you think the securities walk around, Navy SEAL securities walk around with AR weapons on their arm when they do security? No, they have a sidearm. If they need AR weapons, they'll have to go back for that. That's for multiple people that you need to fight. You would need an assault rifle. They got them mostly because they've been brainwashed by video games. Video games got most of these people loving automatic weapons. The purpose of these video games was to get you to buy guns. So when you play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, all this, what's that, Mod 13s, all of these things were to do was to influence you to go buy guns. Guns don't take over countries. Words take over countries. Don't believe the gun is more powerful than the word, because it isn't. The most powerful thing God has given you on this planet is your word. Word move armies to fight. The president of North Korea is a little 5'6" guy like this, tubby, talking to millions of North Koreans. And they have guns. He ain't got a gun on him. So if guns rule everything, they could just say, "Pow! Now I'm the new leader." Why they ain't shooting him? It's a million of them. Because of words. They respect the power. So the gun don't rule. The word rules. Order rules. And people say, well, you can't blame the guns, you got to blame the people. Well, people put those guns in the hand of people who are mentally incapable to own them. That's why you have to ban AR weapons. Ban them. If you're not military, you don't need them. What do you need them for? If you got that much killing to do, you could hire private security. Because you must have a lot of money, because I can't think of anybody that want to have somebody dead that's broke. That got everybody trying to kill a broke dude. No, Skippy, they won't do it because of their bottom line. That's all they care about is the bottom line. They want their bottom line. They're making money selling guns. Do you know most of these gun shops out here, do you know how much a gun costs? It's $300 for a handgun. $600. How could they afford these weapons? $1,200 deal and you can get 3 guns maybe. How could these guys who are in the ghetto poor afford to get all of these type of guns? You know how much an assault rifle costs? Those cost thousands of dollars. How do they have the money and the access to get these guns legally when you're supposed to go through a strenuous process of paperwork? But yet, these gun shops that are in the ghetto, they still make their money. How? Somebody might be going over the boundaries a little to make a couple of sales. And when they catch these guns, and these gun owners, what happens to them? What happened to these gun store owners that had these guns that said came from their store? You know what they say? We sold that gun. Where's the paperwork? Here it is. We gave it to these guys who own a gun show. And what they do is the guys who own the gun show, because they buy them at a marked down price. And the people at the gun show, they can bypass all laws. They buy from person to person. So that's a little harder to track. So when people go and buy, so whenever you make gun laws, okay, you made a gun law and saying we can't get this done. But if we buy from person to person, how does that affect the gun law now? Because now that person didn't sell it to me. I bought it from somebody else. You can't monitor that. It's hard to monitor a person-to-person sale. So people find their liability and they loopholes and get out of them. I'm not a liberal. I'm a man of common sense. And liberals, there's too many fake liberals out here. And it gets on my nerves. You see a lot of them. You've seen a lot of them show up during this whole Parkland, Florida situation. They just use it as an opportunity to jump at Trump. Rather than saying, well, okay, well, you're liberal. Please tell us what the problem is. And we need to ban this. And it's you, Trump. Trump, you're the reason my kid isn't here. I saw the most fakest thing in the world when I saw a liberal parent who said that their child died in Parkland, Florida, and they were on the news. And I'm like, your child just died. And you're here doing this interview. And you're making sure it's done properly. Like, okay, all right, let's go. It's you, Trump. It's you. My kid. I just lost a kid, Trump. And it's you. I'm like, this is a person that lost a child? This sounds like somebody who just got fired. Not somebody that lost a child. If you would have saw that video, it was the worst, and it was the day of the day of, or the next day. It was the worst depiction I've ever seen of a parent who had lost a child go through. It was very shocking that you just lost a child and this is your response on going on the news and acting the way you just did. It just really was horrific. She didn't act nuts. She acted controlled. Like it was like a script she was going over on the news, trying to vent anger at Trump instead of, it was totally missed its mark. So please, there's liberals and conservatives. Let me tell you something right now. It's all BS. There's no such thing as a liberal and there's no such thing as a conservative. Okay? Because all liberal people have things that they're very conservative about. Okay? And all conservatives have things that they're very liberal about. So they all are full of crap. We did talk about that, Mr. Hectic. You just got here late. About the 4 officers who stood outside. They tried to say it was 1 and he resigned, but it was 4 officers who heard the shots and ducked down and did not go in. Everybody's trying to find out did they have orders not to go in to the school, but they probably would have prevented or saved more lives had they went in and done their job to risk their lives. But they chose not to. They chose to go home. So on that note, we end this video. Please rewind it and watch it and see if I'm right or wrong. Hopefully the president understands he was wrong in that statement. And we move on.